Yo, what's good? It's Miss Tora. And it is finally that time of year again, y'all. All of the nominees have been set for each of the categories for this year's 2023 Game Awards, including, as you can see on screen right now, Game of the Year, the big one. Take a look at this lineup, yo. 2023 has just been insanely good for gaming, right? And since all these categories and nominees dropped today, I wanted to make a video going through most of the categories, taking a look at all of the nominees for that given award, and give y'all my thoughts as to who I think is going to end up winning that award, as well as who I think should or is most deserving of winning based on my personal taste. So sometimes those can be two different things. To get it out the way, as far as how winners of any given award are decided, according to the Game Awards, their own website, they have their own panel, and 90% of who wins any given award is based on the voting of that panel. The other 10% is based on fan voting, on the rest of us, you, me, everybody else, based on what we vote to be the winners, right? So with that said, let's go ahead and take a look at all these categories. I'm going to skip best esports event, I'm going to skip best esports coach, esports team, esports athlete, esports game, and content creator of the year. And I'm going to start off with most anticipated games. Let's start there. All right. So for most anticipated game, let me move myself over here a little bit. We got Tekken 8, Star Wars Outlaws, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, Yakuza series, Hades 2, and Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. I don't think, I mean, I love fighting games. Tekken is like one of my favorite fighting games, but I don't think fighting games are like that popular yet to really like, I mean, it's anticipated, but I just don't see it with the chance. We haven't seen too much of Star Wars Outlaws from my memory. Yakuza is definitely getting more popular, and Hades 2 I'm mad hyped for, but I'm going to say for both who I think is going to end up winning the award, as well as what game I'm personally also most anticipated for, it's Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. That's who I think is going to end up winning it. And like I said, that's also the game out of all of these that I'm most hyped for next year. I haven't taken the deep dive in all the games coming out next year, but among these 5, it's definitely Final Fantasy. So let's go ahead and go to the next one. Next, we got Best Adaptation, recognizing outstanding creative work that faithfully and authentically adapts a video game to another entertainment medium. Twisted Metal, Super Mario Brothers movie, Last of Us, Gran Turismo, Castlevania Nocturne. Okay, I can tell you all off the bat what I think should win in my personal best adaptation of the year. Seen most of this, Castlevania Nocturne. Huge Castlevania fan, love Castlevania, right? But what I think is gonna win, The Last of Us. It was so critically acclaimed for how good of a series it was. And also you can see right here, it does say sign in to vote. I'm going to do my own voting after this video, but yeah, this is just for the video's purpose. But yeah, I think Last of Us is going to end up winning. My personal winner though is Castlevania Nocturne. Next up, Best Multiplayer for outstanding online multiplayer gameplay and design, including co-op and massively multiplayer experiences, irrespective of genre or platform. Okay, y'all, y'all know me, y'all know I love Baldur's Gate 3, but as far as what I had the most fun playing in terms of just pure multiplayer this year, but I gotta give it to Party Animals. I know hear me out. For me personally, I think it's Party Animals. I had so much fun playing Party Animals with my wife this year, but as far as who I think is going to win it, if we're talking multiplayer, just wacky fun, sitting on the couch with a bunch of friends laughing, or in Discord with some friends laughing, having a great time, it's probably going to end up being Super Mario Bros. Wonder. That's my prediction for who's going to win it, but me personally, it's Party Animals. That's too much fun for that one. All right, best sports and racing game. I'm not into sports or racing that much myself, so this is going to be a skip for me. Best sim and strategy. All right, Pikmin. We already know sim and the strategy genre, turn-based simulation or strategy gameplay. We got Pikmin 4, Fire Emblem Engage, Company of Heroes 3, Cities Skylines 2, and Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp. So I know this Fire Emblem wasn't that well received, but you know what? I'm actually going to skip this one because for me personally, I didn't dive in too heavily into sim and strategy games this year, so I'm going to pass that one up. All right, best family game. Now we did play again for me. That's Party Animals because I had some guests over recently. We all played Party Animals together. My brother-in-law's in town. We all had a blast playing Party Animals. But again, for best family game, even with Disney Illusion Island being here, Pikmin 4 being here, Sonic Superstars being here, I think the Game Awards, the panel is generally going to give it to Super Mario Bros. Wonder. That's my predictions for that. Best fighting game. Now this I can talk about. I can talk about this. All right, so we got Street Fighter 6, Pocket Bravery, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2, MK1, and God of Rock for the best fighting games. Me personally, I'm more a fan of platform fighters, right? So you would think Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2, right? But our All-Star Brawl 2. But I still think Street Fighter 6 is going to win it and should win it. Reason is, for a fighting game, it just had so much to offer in terms of content, the like single player story. There was more to do than just go online and like 1v1 people. There was a wide breadth of content. And while I know MK1 had a lot of similar stuff, I think Street Fighter 6 succeeded more in having varied gameplay and just more wacky fun stuff to do in its campaign, right? You kind of build your own Street Fighter and go around the World Tour mode. The World Tour mode was just really damn cool, while the story of MK1 was a pretty good story mode. The story mode was really good. Me personally going to give it to Street Fighter 6, as well as I think Street Fighter 6 is going to end up winning Best Fighting Game of the Year. Best RPG. This lineup's stupid, yo. Look at the RPG fans were eating this year. We were straight up stuffed this year, all right? But look, we got Starfield. Y'all know my thoughts on that game. I think it's all right. I think it's good. Sea of Stars, great game. Lies of P, fantastic. Final Fantasy 16, dope. And then Baldur's Gate 3. Oh, bro, this is tough. I think Baldur's Gate 3 is going to win it, as well as it being my personal best RPG of the year. Lies of P comes incredibly close. I was just astounded by how good that game ended up being versus my initial expectations. I expected it to be just a pretty good kind of Bloodborne successor. Nah, Lies of P was incredible, but I think BG3 is going to win it, as well as it does win it for me personally, as far as who I think should get it, right? All right. Best action, I'll just put myself back in the middle, so whatever. Best action adventure. For the best action adventure game combining combat with traversal and puzzle solving, Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Resident Evil 4 Remake, Marvel Spider-Man 2, and Alan Wake 2. This is tough. This is tough because Alan Wake 2, solid, incredibly good. All these games here, really damn good. Resident Evil 4 Remake for me, I'm going to talk about first who I think should win it for this category. I loved the hell out of Marvel Spider-Man 2. I think the story in the other game was a bit better, but as far as gameplay, what you could do, I do think Spider-Man 2, and also it just had more scale with all the symbiote stuff. It was so damn good. Me personally, though, I just had, even though Alan Wake is incredible, like a damn good survival horror game. Oh, oops, sorry about that. Resident Evil 4 ends up taking it for me. Absolutely. Resident Evil 4 was just too incredible of a game. It improved upon, because Resident Evil 4 was one of my original favorite like survival horror games and one of my favorite in the series, but damn, it was so good. My favorite survival horror game for the longest time has been Resident Evil 2 Remake, and then RD4 just blew it out the water. Now, as far as who I think is gonna win it, if we're talking action adventure, right? Because Alan Wake 2, this isn't survival horror game, so actually backpedaling a little bit, it has good action, just not a lot of it, right? Combining combat with traversal and puzzle solving. So okay, traversal and puzzle solving. Horror's a different story, but I think as far as who's gonna win it, I think it's probably Spider-Man 2. It's who I think is gonna end up winning it, but my personal pick is Resident Evil 4 Remake. Best action game. For the best game in the action genre, focused primarily on combat. We're talking focused primarily on combat, story, all that stuff. Ain't really worried about it. No Hi-Fi Rush, goated. Remnant 2, damn good. Ghost Runner 2, Ryu said it improved upon like everything from the original. Dead Island 2, way better than we thought it would be based on how it was stuck in development hell. Armored Core 6. Look here, bro. Love Armored Core 6. I love all Soulsborne games. I love FromSoft games. I gave my impressions on Armored Core 6. It's a damn good game. It's just not a game for me personally. With that being said, I still think it's going to win. I think Armored Core 6 is going to get the panelists' vote that 90%, I think Armored Core 6 is going to be the one to take it away. Remnant 2 is really good. I just played it on PS5 and the performance there wasn't all that great for the performance mode, so I can't really, as much as I have fun I have with the game, I can't really have it over some of these other games. But for me personally this year, to all these games, Dead Island 2, just because of how damn good it ended up being, again versus my own expectations, is my personal pick on who I would pick for the winner. But I think Armored Core 6 is gonna win it, and deservedly so. It's a damn good, even if it's not a game for me, I can't help but be like, yo, this is such a good game. I can't help it. All right, best VR AR game. Played a good amount of VR. I get it. It's an early access. I'm really surprised that Ghost of Tabor didn't make it on this list. It's sweet. It's a really damn good game, but it's early access, so understand, right? Synapse, Village VR, Humanity, Horizon Call of the Mountain, Gran Turismo 7. Me personally, Village VR, me personally. As far as what I think is gonna win it though, Horizon Call of the Mountain, it's done a lot with furthering the technology of VR games, what's possible, just the craziness of the experience. I'm gonna say Horizon Call of the Mountain's gonna win, but Village VR is my personal choice, right? All right, best mobile game. I ain't even gonna give it the satisfaction, bro. Nah, this is a skip for me. I do play some mobile games. I think mobile games are, to go back a little bit so people don't feel slighted, I think mobile games are all right. It's just there's too much crappy monetization for me to even give this more attention than what I'm already giving it, right? So I'm moving on. And none of the games I see there were like, oh, good monetized games. Best debut indie game. So for the best debut game, like indie studios like debut, right? We got Viewfinder, Venba, Pizza Tower, Dredge, and Cocoon. I want to give these games some highlight. However, unfortunately, I can't speak on this category because there were so many great AAA games this year. I didn't get to play as many good indie games as I would have liked to, so I don't feel equipped enough to speak on this. So I'm gonna skip that for now. But I still wanted to show it some love. And best indie game in general, Sea of Stars is gonna be my pick player. But again, I haven't played the rest of them to be like, who I think should win it, but my pick is Sea of Stars player. But I'll say, given the fanfare, Sea of Stars might take best indie game. Might take it. All right, best community support. Recognizing a game for outstanding community support. Transparency, responsiveness, inclusiveness of social media, activity, and game updates and patches. So this is not us as a community supporting the game. No, this is the dev themselves with community support. I'm gonna exclude Final Fantasy 16. It's just Square Enix and stuff as a dev, as an entity. Regardless of how amazing Yoshi P is, he's held back by Square in my opinion, right? No Man's Sky, I know, is very active with their community. Destiny 2 has had it rough this year, I know personally, as far as ripping content out that people have technically already paid for. Cyberpunk 2077 had a great expansion. Me personally doesn't excuse the crappy state they launched the game in, even if it was held back by last gen. But I'm gonna say Baldur's Gate 3 on the dev side of things, for their community support, I think they're going to win this award, and they're also my pick for who should win this award. They've been just amazing in terms of support, transparency, answering questions, responsiveness, being on social media like Sven, and I forgot there's one other prominent person from Larian that's just always on social media, addressing concerns, addressing points, just interacting, having fun with the fans, and game patches and updates. I'm personally going to give the award to, as far as who I think is going to win, Baldur's Gate 3, and my personal pick, also Baldur's Gate 3. Best ongoing, awarded to a game for outstanding development. Oh wait, I'm tripping. That was 14. I'm stupid. Best community support, 14. That makes things different. Sorry. Backpedal. I still think it was Baldur's Gate 3 though. But yeah, 14. I don't know why I said 16, but still stands. I know Yoshi P is very good with his fans, but Square is kind of in the way of some of that transparency and stuff, right? Best ongoing game. All right, Genshin Impact, Fortnite, Final Fantasy 14, Cyberpunk 2077, Apex Legends. Look, I'll tell you out the gate, Apex Legends and Fortnite are not games for me personally, but they've had great years this year. I know that for a fact. Like Apex not so much, but I know Fortnite's gone crazy this year in terms of the OG Fortnite and everything. I know they've had an amazing year, even if that's not a game for me personally. Cyberpunk 2077, that DLC and the 2.0 update has done a lot to change a lot of people's opinions on that game and basically make it a better package. Again, Genshin Impact, it's bad monetization for me. Gacha games in general, can't recommend it. So I'm not gonna consider that. But best ongoing game, I don't know. Did Final Fantasy? I don't think 14 had an expansion this year. They had updates for their previous expansion. They had patches. I don't think they had an expansion this year. So, with that being the case, for me personally, it's 14. Right? Love 14. Love playing Final Fantasy 14. But I haven't played in some time, so don't quote me on that. But I think Cyberpunk is gonna win it. I think Cyberpunk is gonna win best ongoing game, especially because of the Phantom Liberty DLC. Or actually, you know what? Best ongoing game? No, I actually think Final Fantasy 14 is the most deserving, as it has the most continual content for people to dive into, because Phantom Liberty had one big expansion it released. So at one point in time, you had a huge chunk of new things to dive into. Final Fantasy 14 throughout the whole year had that. So it's my pick for who I think should win it and who's going to win it. But that just depends, because I think best DLC is also a category. I think that's where Cyberpunk 2077 wins, but we'll see. Next up, games for impact. For a thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message. Venba, Terra Mill. Again, most of these are going to be indie. I didn't dive, just because of just a crazy amount of AAA releases this year. I didn't get to dive into indie games as much as I would have liked to do this year, just due to time. Gonna have to skip it, but still want to showcase it. You know what I'm saying? For people to give this category the love it deserves. Innovation in accessibility. I can't say. A lot of these accessibility features are not for me personally, so it's hard to say. As far as I've played most of these games, so the ones that had the widest breadth of accessibility options, I also can't say, because I don't dive into that menu part of the menu option, because again, those I don't need those features, but it's great for people that need them. So unfortunately, I just can't say. Best performance, awarded to an individual for voiceover acting, motion, and or performance capture. We got Yuri Lowenthal. And this is best performance. That's supporting best performance. Yuri Lowenthal, Spider-Man 2. Neo Newbon, Baldur's Gate 3. Melanie LeBird, Alan Wake 2. Idris Elba, Phantom Liberty. Cameron Monaghan, Star Wars Jedi Survivor. And Ben Starr for Final Fantasy 16. I think Ben's going to win it. I think Ben is going to win it for his performance in Final Fantasy 16. I think Neo Newbon is my pick. Neo Newbon, I've seen most of the performance. Yuri did a great job as Spider-Man, as Pete, especially, the whole Venom, him bouncing back and forth between Pete and him bouncing back and forth between Pete and also Venomized Pete, that angry Pete. But I'd personally give it to Astarion. I think Ben's going to win it, though. I'm giving it to Astarion. You also, man, Idris Elba, the GOAT, though. Come on now, son. The GOAT, Idris Elba. Hurts me to say. The performance that was more impactful, though, I gotta give it to Astarion, to Neil Dubon, but that's the GOAT right there. Still, I think Ben is gonna end up winning it. Props to Ben. I think he's gonna end up winning. Best audio design. Yo, I could talk about this. Best audio design. Recognizing the best in-game audio and sound design. Come on now. Hi-Fi Rush had great audio design for incorporating it within the gameplay itself. Masterful. Alan Wake 2, you played it with some headphones. All of these games, actually. Resident Evil 4, Dead Space, and Resident Evil 4 Remake, Dead Space Remake, and Alan Wake 2. You play any of these games with any kind of good audio, you're going to need another pair of underwear. I'm sorry. These games are terrifying to just be the environment around. But I felt true fear. Unprecedented fear playing Dead Space Remake and just listening to the environments around me. I felt fear I did not know I could experience. On the real, I felt levels of fear that were just insane. I'm gonna pick Dead Space. Best in-game audio. Alan Wake has the music segment, though, at the night show, at the talk show, so it's like... I think Dead Space 4 is most deserving. I can't pick, so I think either Alan Wake 2 or Hi-Fi Rush are going to end up winning the award. But for me personally, it is Dead Space Remake. I don't think it's going to win, though, just given the recency of Alan Wake 2, but Alan Wake 2 wouldn't be a bad choice at all either. All of these games just have the nominees for this. Whoever decided the nominees, chef kiss. Best choices you could have made all this year. Nominees here are crazy. Dead Space audio and spatial audio, stupidly good. But Alan Wake 2, I think, is going to win it. Best score in music. Yo, Final Fantasy 16 score, crazy. As much as I wasn't that big a fan of Tears of the Kingdom, still crazy good score. Hi-Fi Rush again, awesome music fitting the genre. Baldur's Gate 3, Alan Wake 2. This might be harder than game. This might be the toughest one. This might be I'm a big fan of game music, so this might be the toughest one for me, bro. Best scored music. Oh, this is hard. Oh, this is very hard. Hell has its war. Come on. Me personally, I'm giving it to the boy Borislav Slavov. He's a damn good composer ever since Divinity Original Sin 2. I heard his work at first. I bumped these tracks in the car. What are we talking about here? I got to give it to Borislav Slavov. I hope I'm pronouncing that right for Baldur's Gate 3. But I think Alan Wake is going to win it, justifiably so. Soundtrack is crazy. Soundtrack is crazy good. Tears of the Kingdom, it's tough. 16 is tough. You know what? I'm going to go on a limb here. I think Baldur's Gate 3 is deserving. I think 16 might take this one. That's my prediction. I think 16 might take it. Ooh, best art direction. Yo, I can already tell you who this is between for me personally, right? Tears of the Kingdom, Mario Bros. Wonder, Lies of P, Hi-Fi Rush, Alan Wake 2. All insane, outstanding creative and or technical achievement in artistic design and animation. All these goated, right? It's between Lies of P and Alan Wake 2 for me. Lies of P's art design, it went so far beyond just do Bloodborne but in Pinocchio. It went way beyond what I could have imagined for that. It's different locales, everything, bro. Cut it out. I gotta give it to Alan Wake 2. I do gotta give it to Alan Wake 2. I'm sorry. I gotta give it. Like, I love Lies of P. I will stand up for this game to no end. But Alan Wake 2's art direction is just too damn good. I think Alan Wake 2 is gonna win it. And it's also my personal pick. Like, I was gonna say Alan Wake 2 will win it, and then Lies of P was gonna be my personal winner, but having played Alan Wake 2, just, oh my god, the art direction is stupid crazy good. Best narrative. Okay, for outstanding storytelling and narrative development in a game, y'all know what I'm gonna pick. Y'all know, right? We know Baldur's Gate 3 best narrative because it's your narrative. We know that, right? Cyberpunk, Phantom Liberty, okay, I can see it. But we know it. I'm picking Baldur's Gate. That's my choice for best narrative. However, 16, Alan Wake 2, Phantom Liberty, Baldur's Gate. I think Marvel's Spider-Man 2 is the only one that falls short. It's worthy of the nomination, but it can't hold a candle to the rest of these. In terms of just story, overall game is a different story, but in terms of story specifically, I don't think Marvel Spider-Man 2 holds up to the rest of these, right? Best narrative is crazy. It's tough. Cyberpunk 2, I know, did a lot for the story. Final Fantasy 16, Alan Wake 2. I'm gonna say, considering I was wildly interested in the stuff going on with Saga, and I did not expect to be. I'm gonna say Alan Wake. No. I'm gonna go out on a limb. You know what? Alan Wake 2, I would expect to take it, but I'm gonna go for the sleeper. I think 16 might take it. If not, actually, wait, I'm tripping. I was voting for like my runner-up. I think Baldur's Gate 3 is gonna win the award, and my also personal pick for the award. My bad. But Final Fantasy 14 with Alan Wake 2 behind that is my second and third. Best game direction. Hold on now. Cut it out. Larian Studios. What are we even talking about here? Come on. The direction for this game, the process, how finely tuned they've got their process down to a nail to create such a thing. Bro, no other studio could do it. I'm telling you, it's Baldur's Gate 3 for me personally. However, you know what though? Alan Wake 2 is crazy in terms of like direction and like just how out there they went with it, the choices they made. Damn, you might have to get that to Alan Wake 2. I mean, game direction for these two, for Super Mario Bros. Wonder and Tears of the Kingdom, deserves some commendation because of what they're able to pull off on Switch hardware. That's some impressive game direction there. That's a great feat of game direction and development. Spider-Man 2, crazy good long, like way longer than I thought it would be. Crazy that they were able to pull this off even with reimagining New York City and adding more content to it. I'm going to say Baldur's Gate 3. I'm going to say Larian Studios specifically. Not even Baldur's Gate 3. You're talking about Larian Studios. Is my personal pick. I think I could see Remedy winning it though. Remedy's game direction is just crazy good. I think Remedy might win it with Alan Wake 2. My pick is Baldur's Gate 3. That's my predictions on that. And here we are, finally. Game of the year. You already know my pick. Cut it out. You know my pick. Come on now. What are we talking about? You know my pick. But recognizing a game that delivers the absolute best experience across all creative and technical fields. Game of the year. I'm going with Baldur's Gate 3. I think Baldur's Gate 3 is my personal game of the year. It's a special title to me. And here's the thing. Earlier on in the year, before Baldur's Gate 3 release, I would have told you, I actually made a video on this. It does not have the best chance of winning game of the year. I honestly, out of all these, I thought it was going to be between Marvel Spider-Man 2, Super Mario's Wonders, or Legend of Zelda, right? That's who I thought might win game of the year. Actually, yeah, if you would have said, that, oh, who's going to win game of the year this year, Ms. Thor? Oh, yeah, probably Tears of the Kingdom. That's probably who's going to win it. Even though my personal pick might be Baldur's Gate 3, Tears of the Kingdom's got it in the bag. The fanfare and how Baldur's Gate 3 blew up beyond what any of us fans, either during early access, D&D fans, or Larian Studios fans, whoever, this game blew up in a way us fans did not expect to happen, bro. Blew up like crazy. I think Baldur's Gate 3 can win it. I really do. I think it's going to win it, and it's my personal pick on who wins it. That being said, my runner-up out of all these, I'll give you the order. All 6 of them. Baldur's Gate 3 in first place, Resident Evil 4 in second place, Alan Wake 2 in third place, Spider-Man 2 in fourth, and then in fifth, you got Tears of the Kingdom followed by Mario at 6. That's my personal, if you're talking these right here. But yeah, I think Baldur's Gate 3 takes home the big award, and it's my personal pick for doing so as well. But yeah, hey, that's going to do it for this video, y'all. Thank y'all for watching. Appreciate y'all. Yeah, I think this year's Game Awards is going to be crazy. We also received news that the orchestra from last year's coming back as well. Flute guy, the homie Pedro, is going to probably be playing again as well. I'm excited to see that. But yeah, be sure to let me know for these categories who you think is most deserving, as well as who you think is going to end up eventually coming home with the award for each of the categories. And yeah, thank you guys for checking out my opinions. As always, I'll catch you on the next one. Y'all be easy. It's going to be a great show this year. Peace.